Hello everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 New Game Plus Speedrun. I had the record in this category for about 2.5 months. And then the New Game Speedrun world record holder, FBI Michael Scarn, came and took it from me. And I appreciate that other people are taking interest in this edition of the run, but I'm here to take it back. And I know for a fact that we can do it. Because unofficially, I've already beaten his time. But this is for the official run. So let me show you what we're doing this with. We have a team that comprises a max level Thanos Infinite, which already wins us the game. But you'll see why he's so integral to this run. Also, Black Panther, he's going to really help out with this run. Wolverine's along for the ride, but the one who really makes this speed run happen is Nightcrawler, because he is our quick traversal character that's going to get us through this. So that's the team we're working with. I'm not going to bother rebalancing or redistributing their ISO at all. The only other thing that we need to keep in mind here is when I made my record attempt, I did it on the mighty difficulty, which isn't bad. I mean, it's not the beginner entry-level difficulty, but it was what the original world record that I beat in this category was on. FBI Michael Scarn did his run on friendly difficulty. So, in other words, the gloves are off. So let's jump into it and make sure that we absolutely trounce this record and reclaim it for our own. So here we are. Friendly difficulty. Starting here at the docking bay. It's going to ask us if we're okay. And we are. And with one press of a button, the speedrun has begun. And here we have a skip right off the bat. And the first part of this speedrun is a loading screen. I know, high octane. But shortly hereafter, we'll have the option of switching to Nightcrawler, who's going to really bring this home for us. And away we go.
Seriously? No welcoming committee? Scans were right. We've got ourselves a ghost.
Now, I think that was another area where FBI Michael Scarn was not highly optimizing this run, was in using Deadpool for his teleport traversal. Because Deadpool, he's good for a lot of different things, but he has a much slower teleportation animation than Nightcrawler does. Nightcrawler, I've labbed it out, and Nightcrawler has the best, quickest teleport in the game. I wish he was a better character and could offer more to our team dynamic, but in terms of getting through things quickly, he is the go-to guy. And just like that, we are into the next section here. Alright, so here we're going to need to take Nebula out as quickly as possible, which is going to be easy enough because she's already down. And that's what happens when you play on the friendly difficulty. Let's keep moving.
Whatever the Kree are hiding on this ship, it must be very important if Nebula is involved.
And right around the corner here we go to this next terminal gate. This is all non-mandatory combat. Alright, and here comes the core computer detonation.
What have you led us into now?
And And it's really just layering into this computer with a bunch of Thanos' heavy attacks, really, is what it comes down to. And just like that, that was much faster than even in my trial run. So let's get into the Ronin fight, which we're making incredible time on that. And then he hit me, but he's already down to his second phase. And then we're gonna have to do this again. And that's leagues better than my original split for this. Skip through these cutscenes here, and now we go into an ultra-long loading screen again. A bunch of new faces in here. Welcome. I hope you are here for the treat of a ride. The current world record stands at just under 2 hours. It's at 1 hour 56 minutes and a couple of seconds, and we are pushing for sub 140 in today's run, because it is highly likely that this is possible. So we're going to need to bash through that wall.
Looks like we just made bail, Guardians. We've got to repair this terminal if we want to restore power to this dump.
And activate this guy, which is going to bring us to the far side of this prison containment area. And this is where Thanos excels in the rest of this, because we can just detonate that area of effect and take all of those opponents out in one fell swoop. Sandman is our next one.
I hear you, buddy. This sure brings back some memories, don't it?
And this is a combat section with Spider-Man.
What are you Guardians doing back on Earth?
Alright, that takes down the first wave of these guys. And here comes the second wave. And the third wave goes down as well, which lets us into the next section. This first raft section is actually the most technical part of this run, due to a lot of the puzzles that it has.
Something's definitely not right here.
In the later sections here. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward run. Alright, let's just get right on this suppression cannon.
In case you hadn't noticed, his whole body's made of sand. Hitting him is useless. It's working. He's solidified.
And as long as he doesn't target into us. There's a little bit of RNG involved in this, as to whether or not he... And just like that, he's down. And that's a one cycle on Sandman, which is good. So now it's into the next section, which is going to involve a confrontation against Venom and Electro.
That maniac could do if he gains access to the RAB security systems. Shield scanners are going wild. You must be close to
And we're ignoring a lot of the dialogue that Nick gives us because it's pertinent to exploration, and that's not what we're here for. We're here for the record. And then Thanos, you gotta get out of the way, bud. And then through this section, we've got to make sure that we... There we go. And then... There we are. Lost a few seconds there, but nothing serious. that group. So now on to this section.
To get past those security gates, you're gonna have to access the terminals in the proper sequence.
Alright, and now we are into the boss fight with Electro and Venom after this last door that we go through. And it's just a matter of getting through Electro, which with this other heavy attack, provided that I don't, you know, get knocked out of it, we should have. And then we're going to want to do another dash attack here with Thanos. And then another one will get us into the danger territory of taking him out, and that's done. Of course, I'm using my own splits for this, but they line up with the end goal of what we're aiming for, so there's no worries on that.
Maybe getting closer to the tower, but I'm the one in control.
And here's the fight combat section with Luke Cage.
Letting these prisoners out
And this one's pretty straightforward as well. We set up a absorption ring over here. And that takes them down. Which means that we can just keep right along moving. Another thing that really makes this different than the new game Speedrun is the fact that the new game Speedrun has easy like an extra 5 minutes added onto it just with the character introductions that take place through it. And I finally got that terminal sequence down, so that was a big type save from my original run. And then we've just got to layer into these guys. And that one cycles the first phase. Skip through this transition. And I think that was actually all 3 of them, which is good. Now we've just got to play through the animations here.
I demand a phone call, a lawyer, and a fair trial.
One more and you get a treat, Lockjaw.
Alright, and with those 3 out of the way, it's just Mysterio, who spawns in right up here at the top of the arena. And there's no setup we can do. I've tried doing some setup to kind of pre-scan the fight, but it doesn't hold up. And that takes down Mysterio. Now on to Dr. Octopus. And then there's this courtyard fight sequence that we have to go through.
It would almost be admirable if it wasn't so blasted annoying.
And let's just draw a bunch of these guys in here. And another cycle of those will get us into the final phase, I believe. Where's the last guy? Where is he? No! You can't do that. Oh, come on. This isn't happening. Come on. Please tell me this gets him. There we go. That was catastrophic.
We owe you that much.
he didn't jump down over the ledge. That's the first time I've ever seen that,
Next stop, the
which is
Raps
unfortunate.
control room. If the Goblin wants to break out, he'll have to do it from
No,
there.
we'll want to use Nightcrawler to get into this next section here.
Manhattan becomes supervillain central.
Be honest, it kinda already is, right? Why else would so many of you guys live there?
Technically, I live in Jersey, but I get your
I
point.
do like how whatever alternate skin you have active on your team will be the
Supervillains and butt kickers.
one that shows up in the dialogue. But now it's on to Dr. Octopus here. And then there's a second phase to his fight, so we don't call the timestamp here.
My master plan is foolproof.
It's also interesting how there's like 5 different lines of dialogue that go on here during the
You heroes lash
Dr. Octopus fight.
force against those who threaten you intellectually. You cannot lock one as brilliant as I away in a cage. Dr. Octopus must be free to reign supreme. You meddlesome morons are always getting in my way.
Schools out, punk. You just failed.
And let's dash into him. That's the end of the Dr. Octopus fight. And then the Green Goblin fight's right off the top here. After this cutscene.
The Goblin can't escape while the Raps force field is still
And
active.
another one after
But
we
I'm
get out to
starting
the top.
wonder if that lunatic has a different plan in his warped mind.
Oh man, how come I always have to fight him in high places? It never ends well.
Stone was delivered to me by fate. You'll never take it away from me. You should know by now. I'm made from
And that gets him into his second phase.
the kind of power I've always dreamed of. Power worthy
And there's
of
less rockets we have to deal with in this.
I think I'll take my time and enjoy this. It's not easy.
Honestly, let's just
I'll make you pay for hurting me.
do that. Lay into him. Easy enough. Because you can deal damage to him normally, but he takes significantly less damage. Or a significantly reduced amount of damage.
Night.
So that's a little unfortunate. And then it's on to Shadowland, which has some technical aspects to it, but they're pretty intuitive. I'm just checking my recording of this, making sure that it's going on well, because I've had some troubles with the website crashing, and that would be devastating to this. So hopefully that doesn't happen during this run here. Alright, let's zip around into the next section here. I made a mistake in my trial run here that I don't normally make, so we'll just need to make sure that we avoid that.
Okay. Oh, did I mention that the ancient ninja temple is guarded by actual ninjas? If not, I probably
Yeah,
should.
you probably should have,
Many
but
of you
they're
know this
honestly
by
not
now,
that big of a
but ancient
concern.
ninjas have a tendency to appear out of nowhere. See those
Ah.
searchlights sweeping the rooftop? That means the hand knows we're coming. Stick to the shadows or
Oh,
you'll never
dang
make it
it.
to the temple.
And that was the type of mistake that I can't really afford to make.
Way to go. You've been made. Why not just announce you're here?
But it honestly doesn't set you back that much.
There goes the element of
Oh
surprise.
gosh. 2 of them. So definitely some room for some optimizations in here. That just means that I can fix that at a later date. Those searchlights were doing weird things, to be honest, though. And we just wait here for the light to come back down. And terrible cycle on that. But now it's over. So maybe like a 20-second time loss there, but we're still gonna be fine. Unskippable cutscene here. And up the ramp we go.
Nope. Gotta keep the mystery in our relationship
We
alive.
can skip by these guys because they're non-mandatory.
I just got an emergency call from a client who pays a lot more than you. One last
Let's
thing.
just draw
Danny
these
just
guys
texted me
in.
and told me he'll meet you at the door. Knowing him, you'll probably want to stand back.
And then we just come up onto this plateau here.
That was a good warm-up, but the real challenge still lies ahead.
And you say that, but they go down here in about 20 seconds. And then here are the last four. Easy. Easy, easy.
They reaped what they sowed.
And then it's into the actual Shadowland temple.
I searched the whole room and there are no other doors. Unless we find a way to open this gate, our journey ends here. I recognize this. It's the Azure Dragon of the East. This one is the White Tiger of the West. Classic.
Up around this.
And who can forget the good old Black Turtle of the North?
And this brings us down and up here. Optional combat segment in here we can skip past. This triggers a cutscene with Daredevil that we can ignore.
Advantage, letting me sense where their triggers are.
And moving right along.
Your safest bet is to let me or another teammate who can detect danger lead the way.
And then here's where Thanos comes in to play again. Honestly, this segment is sped up drastically by being able to pull all of those opponents into the center. And then we'll switch over to Thanos here. And then something convenient about these hand mystics that are enhancing Electra is that they all are affected by that gravity wave. I thought that we had our extreme attacks online, but they refresh at the end of every level. There goes the Electra segment. And then we have to get up to Bullseye next. Which he's very easy to get to.
There, an exit from this infernal cage.
Get through that door. There we go.
Could anyone else use some fresh air?
And then we can just ignore all of these hand mystics here. Or they're, yes, they're hand grunts. The mystics are the ones that
These weapons
actively
could prove quite
inhibit
useful in
you.
the right hands.
Welcome to the record-setting speedrun. Let's see. You like to run away, which is not appreciated.
That's because anyone who would know is dead. I'm right at home
Sections
here in
here.
the Kingpin's little museum. After all, I make killing an art. Do me a favor and die already. Reputation.
There goes Bullseye. And then next is Vincent D'Onofrio, otherwise known as Kingpin.
Something tells me that Kingpin can put his latest acquisition on display. If we want the stone,
And there's one puzzle section left before we can move into that. And here's my hot take on this one. You'll want to move the statues almost into their end position. Really, anyone on your team can do this. Thanos tends to do so with a little less issue. And then, right before you move this first one all the way into place, set up a gravity surge over here. That way, any of the grunts that spawn in are drawn into it. And then we can switch over to Nightcrawler and get out of here without having to fight all the Mystics and grunts. And that is a huge time save, looking at it from a conventional standard. These guys are all optional here. And then stepping on this pad will get us into the final section. Alright. Now to take on Mr. D'Onofrio. And you can get him down a little bit further than what the health bar indicates, which is much appreciated. So let's run in. And just like that, we've knocked a sizable chunk off of that section. And let's head to Avengers Tower. Cutscenes we can skip there. The recording's still doing well over here, which is good. I'm panicking a little on the inside because some of the live streams I've done in the past have not held up. Gotta love these mandatory wait times, don't ya?
You guys are probably going to want to take a look at these readings.
And then let's get through that combat, or that conversation with Vision. Skip through this cutscene.
Jarvis, I need you to amplify this frequency and trace it back to...
And here come the opponents, which we can really ignore. We don't need to pay a ton of attention to them, especially as Thanos Infinite, or he can just, you know, dash into him of his own accord and take him out right off the bat, so we really don't have to worry about him.
Reboot the tower's defenses sector by sector if we enter the Avengers priority override code into these terminals. User override protocol A57.
And then there's mandatory dialogue that has to play out here that keeps it running.
This should neutralize them.
Skip through that dialogue there. Talk to him one more time. Just kidding. And down this hallway, we come into the next section.
I have found a means to evolve machine kind beyond our programming, making humanity obsolete.
And these guys can take them out.
Access to the next sector is currently obstructed.
Yeah, they're all down.
Return to the override code into the nearest interface terminal. Tower systems restored.
And let's move along into the next room here.
Iron Man's armors were designed to aid us against our enemies, not to become enemies themselves.
Alright, Black Panther did a really good job of keeping that guy tame there. And we can move right along.
Hey, Avengers. This is the Wasp. I'd love to join the fun, but I'm
Gotta go
currently
this
locked
way
down in
into the
neighborhood
living room.
Do you happen to have a second to swing by and set me free?
Well, not quite to the living room, because we have to go to the training facility first. But that is next on our stop here.
Now Ultron sent his drones to do his dirty work. Good thing I'm in the mood to crack open some metal heads.
Shall we go?
Something is amiss in the training facility. Please proceed with caution.
Alright, and then here we want to bring Thanos through. And then honestly, this isn't mandatory, but it'll help keep these guys off our back as we finish out this terminal here.
Power systems restored to 55%.
And we can now proceed right up to the living room.
Proceed quickly. The Wasp requires immediate assistance.
And another combat section that'll play out pretty quickly.
It's a private Avengers party. No crashers allowed. Ultron and I go way back. His sentries have never seemed this alive. No such thing as a lazy morning for an Avenger. Vision, if you're not too busy, you might want to scan these guys for abnormal energy readings. We need to pull the plug on these rust buckets.
And that is the last of them.
That was tougher than I expected.
Yeah, was it though? It was actually one of the easiest fights I've had.
This area of the tower is now secure.
Alright,
Please
come on.
continue to the next
As long as I don't
interface
teleport my way
I'm detecting strong energy
too far out of the way,
directly
we're not
outside the tower.
losing any time
This may
here.
be the next wave in Ultron's attack. Keep heading towards the helipad.
Yeah.
And training facility V2. It doesn't matter what I do here because it's going to zip me back. Now this is a training facility that I have a specific idea for. And that is when you get to this point, these guys are going to spawn in and you want to draw in the different opponents.
Ultron's attack. I'm scrapping it after this.
And then make sure that you activate the terminal here. See, those energy beams that just collided with me, those ones would take out a regular opponent. I don't want to have to deal with that guy. So we'll get him stuck in a gravity surge. And then activate this terminal.
Power systems restored to 75% functionality.
And then we come up to the terrace, which is where the last, or the docking bay, loading bay, cargo bay, something. And we'll get one more of these going over here. Keep all those guys off my tail. Activate the last terminal. And we're done.
Restored to 90% functionality.
Just a little further. The helipad is straight ahead.
Let's go, Bob.
And it's just a matter of getting up to the Ultron fight, which is going to be a cakewalk.
My armored shell has always been superior to your frail, fleshy forms. But my
Phase
artificial
2,
mind
and
was
he's one of the
limited
first
by
ones we see with
inferior
a third phase.
I give you credit. You organic life forms may be obsolete, but you fight as if
And
you
there's
still have
the
a future.
second phase done.
Damage
This just goes so fast.
You will not prevail. I have analyzed every possible outcome and prepared contingencies. Today, the age of Ultron
Alright,
begins.
he's gonna spawn back
Even my
down.
most powerful attacks cannot match the might of the Mind Stone. Your attacks may
And that's
destroy
Ultron
my
down.
sentries,
So
but
now it's the
one
Ultimo fight, which
Ultron is
ultimately
forged
takes
through
longer than I would ideally like it to.
Walking weapon mass destruction. He may be headed for Avengers Tower.
And this section of getting Hawkeye in to actually trigger the fight against Ultimo will be interesting.
Help is on the way. Just hold back that oversized Iron Man knockoff and clear me a place to land.
There comes the objective, so let's draw in The Ultron drones that need to go down. We're going to need to replenish that. And there they are. All of them down. So now we can progress over to the Ultimo fight. We're going to beat this split by a full 10 minutes, I feel.
Ultimo both in play. I have determined a new plan of attack. I will head to the rooftop and prepare the weaponry required for the final battle. Meet me there at once.
Such is my will.
Come on, activate that terminal button.
Break it to you, Viz, but Ultimo is nearly invulnerable.
And then we have some mandatory scroll cutscenes that happen here. Recording's still going, that's good. And then here is a combat section coming up, which we can take them out by setting up that gravity surge. And here comes round 2. There's a specific animation you need to watch for with Ultimo, and it's that headbutt right there, because then he triggers his beams. And they're all getting drawn into the gravity surge here. And that's the last of those, so now we just need to worry about the cannons up here on top of the roof, which is the most tedious part of this fight. It might be possible to 3-cycle this guy, but it's not the intention. Nice uppercut there, Scott. Because the first section is a guaranteed clear, as long as your teammates aren't incompetent, which they're not. And then we've got a combat segment here with a small number of Ultron drones. And now they're down.
Defense is successfully neutralized. Ultron is vulnerable once again. Attack.
Then we can take down this second section, even with getting knocked out of this by some of these Ultron sentries. So let's set up another one of these. And then here's the third cycle, which, I don't know, it's interesting. Because you might be able to get him down. Because he gets really close. Like, look how close he ends up here. And I've gotten it closer than that, even. So let's draw in the remaining wave of these grunts, and then get our way over to these turrets to take down the remainder of Ultimo here. And there he is. A full 11 and a half minutes ahead of the pace. But this is just from my last run, the timestamps we're looking at least. And now over to Xavier's mansion, the Xavier Institute, where we've got another cutscene. How we doing? Enjoying things? See that there's a bunch of people sitting here. I hope you're taking notes, because we are well on pace to beat the current standing record here. Well on pace. Let's get some hype in the chat. I know you're there. I can see that there's at least 10 of you here. zip past these sentinels here as they are non-mandatory combat. Alright, and then really, this one actually isn't as key on Thanos Infinite, finishing things out, as it is making sure that we make good use of these cores. So aim your cores accordingly.
Keep your heads in the game, X-Men.
That's what I do best, Cyclops.
Shall we show them how it's done? Yeah, just like old times.
And sometimes you get them before their spawning animation completes, and that makes for a real fun exchange. Let's take out that guy. He's down. Now you're down. Oh, I guess we can throw cars too. That wasn't what I had meant to do. And there's only one more of them that's going to spawn in. Right here. No! Of course he jumps right over that core detonation. Ah! That's unfortunate. We got him though. Alright. Zip around the back side of the, or to the back side of the mansion here. These are non-mandatory combat, optional combat. Then let's come up to the Blackbird here. Zip through that combat, or that discussion there. And on to the Infinity Sentinel. Which, spoilers, this is going to be a quick fight.
Mutants must perish.
The front of the mansion has been cleared. And what is now even clearer is that this threat is far from over. My claws are itching for action.
And just like that, the Infinity Sentinel is down. And then we have some combat which you're not meant to win, but our team is so overpowered it's not even a challenge. So let's get these guys frozen in here. And that is how you quickly make your way through this combat section. You just focus on Mystique because she's the weakest of the crew. Which is why she doesn't have an in-person combat section later.
The Juggernaut's inertia is impossible to diminish.
He's gonna bring down the whole flippin' mansion.
And then we come around this balloon arch to where Deadpool's making tacos.
I will destroy you.
And there's a bunch of cool things that you can find in here. But we're not here to explore, we are here to decimate.
Who wants pizza? Oh, that was ugly. And I would not. I left the stove on. Come, you dumb friends. Now I can stop all of you. Haven't had this much fun in ages. Party time.
Let's take him down, stagger him out. And Juggernaut's down. Oh, that was a split. Haha. Maybe knock a second off that split. It's not the final time though, so.
Nowhere left to run, punks.
Yeah, you're gonna stay trapped in that room though.
cannot be stopped, Tovarish? Allow me to prove you wrong.
Into the danger room. And this can eat up some time if you don't have Thanos on your team. Alright, let's zip through this bit. Yes, the gravity surge works on holograms too.
Training programs may be holographic, but they can
into level beta.
They don't call it the danger room for nothing.
This one can be a little bit more tricky if you don't have Thanos Infinite. And on to level Gamma. And this one's pretty straightforward. It's basically the same as the first wave in here, but with slightly stronger opponents. And we're through that, so now we are on to the Magneto fight.
Power levels beyond maximum threshold.
You think this is intense? Hey, Mystique, switch it over to the file marked Deadpool's Danger Room Dream Danger.
What is it, my friend?
And up to the main floor of the mansion, in this room where the mansion gets ripped apart. And now it's for magnets. How do they work?
Magneto has obtained the Power Stone. We must retrieve it.
Go it!
It's not too late to join me, X-Men.
Come on, Magneto! I'm not even technically an X-Man!
This power is exactly what I've been seeking.
There we are. There's a split down. Sub 45 right there.
I shall build a new world in the name of Homo Superior.
Now we've got a bunch of Outriders that we're going to have to deal with.
Slaughter them, Outriders!
And it's just as easy as what you've seen before. Just draw them into the middle and just lay into them with all the attacks you can muster. And that's all that was.
The Black Order even arrives.
100 ugly aliens down, 2 more to go.
And this gets a little bit more technical here.
Insolent whelps! I shall eviscerate you all in her honor!
Good news, Corby! For once,
And
the ugliest guy in the battle.
the trouble with this fight is you can't actually stagger Corvus, but you can just take him out in 20-30 seconds or so. Here he's down, and here's the confrontation against him and Proxima, which honestly, we might as well use our extreme attacks here. Which took out a decent amount of Corvus's health there. Corvus is down. Now we gotta take down Proxima, which honestly is gonna be just one more attack there. I thought I had a timestamp, but I don't. Not at that point. My timestamps are not gonna happen again until the Dark Dimension.
They're mine. So clouded with hate. If they catch us, we don't stand a chance.
We shall bring Thanos the stones and your heads.
The thrill is in the hunt, my love. Run all you wish. There is nowhere on this planet that is safe.
Yeah, well, thanks for the hint to get off the planet. And then we do it again, and then we are on to the Dark Dimension. We're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. A few minor hiccups earlier on, but nothing that we can't salvage. And let's go down and meet Elsa Bloodstone.
Our team in the lab just figured out how to upgrade your ISO 8. Better stop in.
Mindless ones. Their only instincts are to defend this dimension and to conquer others.
Hey, I
beasties before they overflow into our reality.
Where's that?
That about does it. Tea, anyone?
Come on. Let's go through this portal.
Powering these portals is unusual, even for the dark dimension.
Be on the lookout for anything unusual in that region.
Yeah, it was on the left, Nick. Thanks,
Another
but
rift.
that's not what we're here
It's as
for.
if the fabric between dimensional planes is beginning to shred. We can't let the mindless ones cross to the other side.
And
Magic from this artifact is somewhat
rift
powerful
down.
rift. Maybe
Arcane
destroy
artifact number
keep
2.
the darkness from seeping into other dimensions.
Ah, I thought he would have been closer. Ah. Sometimes I can get up there, sometimes I can't. All just kind of depends.
Of course,
And down to
seems to correspond with a similarly colored
this portal, which will take us up to the last one.
These relics come in so many colors, yet not one goes with my outfit.
Didn't that blue one match exactly with your overcoat, Elsa? Could have sworn that it does. But who am I? I'm not a fashion aficionado.
Strong, I can feel it. It is beyond the point where smashing some trinkets will fit.
Alright, now we get a mandatory combat section with Ghost Rider.
Fracture. I will have to handle this one myself.
Alright, those guys are down. And laying into these guys a little bit more ought to do it. And now for some more traversal teleportation here. And it's interesting, I think they probably meant to have some mandatory conversation with the Ghost Rider there, but they forgot to cue it in before the portal generates, because that's the only one like that. Every other exclamation point that appears above his head like that means that there is a mandatory conversation to progress.
All of these rifts lead to different dimensions. We have to seal them shut before the realities converge.
What are you doing over there? Hit this guy. Gosh. Sometimes his heavy attack auto-targeting is not great. Alright, up to the good doctor here. Ah, could have saved an extra second or two there. I'm not too concerned though. And not here, because that timestamp comes here.
I've waited so long to make you my slave. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Even a sorcerer supreme pales when compared to the dread Dormammu. Curse your strength.
And there's Doctor Strange's split. Let's talk to him. I should have. We can mash through that conversation decently quick.
We'll need to make our way to Dormammu's lair and pick up a little something extra along the way. Dormammu's toying with the Reality Stone's power. He's altering the fundamental properties of this dimension, right down
the center here. So they're easier to keep track of. That arcane artifact lasted all of 2 seconds.
Dormammu is immune to the magic born in this dimension, but the reality stone has created dark crystals that we can use to absorb and reflect Dormammu's energy.
Alright, absorb 1, absorb 2, throw.
The crystals are more fragile than I expected. There should be more as we traverse closer to Dormammu and the stone.
Pretty sure this is... yeah, this is the maze, which isn't that much of a maze. It does confuse you if you're new to it, but all of this stuff right here is optional. And the only area you need to focus on is up here. So let's teleport in. Then we come down here, come through this portal. Through that portal as well. And then we can just zip up to this teleportation portal, which will take us up to the Loki fight. Which is going to be over pretty quick.
You heroes have no idea what you found. Do you? Crystals, isolate, call them what you will. Soon, they'll all be
and
you thought one of me was hard to handle. The one true Loki doesn't crumble under pressure. I should have thought this through a bit more. You shouldn't have been able to do that.
And we should be able to get to Dormammu. I don't think we can get him in under an hour, but we can get him in shortly thereafter. Mainly because there is a combat section up here that is a little bit tricky.
Anyone know what that was all about?
All that matters is that he is gone.
Yeah, it's this. Hit me. Hit me. Don't, not like that. I need... No! I need energy to hit into me. Like that. Laser, laser, laser. Right like that. And then I need to take out one of these guys to get another crystal off him. No! Dang it! There's one right here. No! Come on! Good night. Why must you torment me like this? Because the only way to deal damage to this rift is to stop. Do that. And that's why I said I don't know if we can get Dormammu in under an hour. But we are now on to that section of the fight. So we very well may be able to. I think I might, oh, it does give me.
You should have learned by now. When sorcerer is truly supreme.
Okay, let's get some energy attacks in here.
want to extinguish your flame once and for all.
Okay, that gets Dormammu into his second phase. Throw that into his barrier. Need to look for opportunities to take like these lightning bolts. And then here's another one. Okay, that was a very large blast. Alright, let's take another one. Honestly, we can just layer into him with... Come on, get him. Alright, we did get just under an hour. I didn't think we were going to, but we did. No. I thought there was going to be another cutscene, so I instinctively mashed the +X slide. We're still actively gaining time on things, though, which is good. Sitting through a loading screen. Fun and interactive as always. Eidolon is a cool concept. I just wish they would have done more with it. No. I wanted to speak to Medusa, not Black Bolt. Cutscene we skip.
Has all of Eidolon gone mad?
And alpha primitives go down. No, we want to stay on Thanos. One, because there's a funny exchange we get out of him right here, and two, because there's a combat section that's almost immediately hereafter. Talk to your son.
How can I help?
Now ignore him. Alright, and then let's get these going. And let's keep layering into these alpha primitives here, because there's only 2 of them left. And then the next section is optional combat. So yes, there are opponents here, but we don't have to pay them any mind.
I'm not a fighter, but I guess this is my battle now.
And we can just make our way into the throne room.
Maximus has tried to claim the throne from his brother. Not even close. The guy's a brilliant inventor, but he's never been quite right in the head. Still, not or not, he refused to give up.
That takes him down through first phase.
You always thought I was insane, but I know exactly what I'm doing, and I relish every twisted moment. Your pathetic attempts to resist are almost adorable.
Maximus, it doesn't have to be this way.
And there's second phase down. So third phase is the last one here.
If you're done, I have a city to rule.
And it's fortunate for us that he didn't do his... There's a couple of animations he can go into there. One of them is very long and drawn out, so it's fortunate that he didn't activate that one here. And let's talk to Thane. and move into Wakanda. And if Wakanda is the last of the super technical stuff, I guess there's a little bit in Hell, but not by much. Got more time running out. Glad that my recording's still going. That means that we're going to be good for making our official submission.
These are the coordinates Bucky transmitted. So, where is he?
And then let's just zip right on past all of these guys.
You're getting close to another one of those rifts.
It's an ambush. AIM must have expected us.
And that was fast.
More trouble incoming. AIM's not messing around.
My fury will rain down upon you.
Take down a solid chunk of these guys.
Looks like AIM is turning up the heat. Watch your feathers, folks.
Area secured. And we could
And just like that, we can progress into the next phase here. Go, go, go.
That's part of a Quinjet. Good thing the Winter Soldier was built tough.
That means he's still out here somewhere. We need to keep searching.
And I think we can clip up onto this ledge. Come on.
Strike their barriers
Come on,
down
there
in
we
their
are.
souls.
Trick Thanos into thinking that the real enemy is over here. We can just zip past. No, we'll just keep moving. That was a waste of time.
We're pinned. We need to disable those turrets.
And let's come over to this terminal here. See, he gets locked into this corner fine. He didn't get locked into the other one. And then let's get him locked into this one.
Maybe we can finally take that thing down.
Perhaps our enemies have unwittingly provided us with the means for their own downfall.
And zip right on through. Alright, aim.
Burning jet fuel.
Then Claw throws us down into the abyss there, but we still have a bit to go before his combat section. See people popping in and out, which is all good. Hopefully more people staying than leaving. And here we go.
The fallen Quinjet is here, but the Winter Soldier is not. Could that be a blessing in disguise?
And this first little bit is optional.
The soldier must have ejected before the crash.
I knew it. There's no way he'd go out without a fight.
Knowing Bucky, it'll be one
But
for the
here
ages. Makes me feel sorry for AIM.
is some
We're almost back to the
mandatory
capital
combat.
city.
May Bast guide our hands.
You do not stand alone.
So we're gonna want to activate that, which will start taking down a bunch of these guys. Oh gosh. Those guys went down pretty easy.
The Dora Milaje are formidable, but even the best warrior benefits from strong allies.
Where is the last guy? He's probably back here, cowering behind something, or stuck in combat with you.
You and your sisters have served your kingdom well, my trusted guardian.
Ah.
The panther smiles upon us.
Zip past this turret here before he has a chance to target onto us and do anything.
That will not be necessary. Not today.
There's a few more of them down here. There we are. We're actually going to make a different move here. Now, Nightcrawler could get through this faster, but because there are terminals at the end here we have to destroy, Thanos is going to be our better bet. Because it's not controversial, but it is different.
Once the control modules are destroyed, Wakanda's defenses will be restored and AIM will be vanquished.
Take this out. Thank you.
With the statues under our control, we can show AIM what they were truly meant to do.
And cutscene here that we can't skip through.
Did they really think they could turn a panther against you, T'Challa?
Go now before more reinforcements arrive.
Why does Nightcrawler get stuck in the debris there? That's the second time that that's happened to me.
Stop me from getting my revenge. The panther will pay. If you want to claim Wakanda Claw.
Alright, there goes the first phase.
You just got VIP tickets to a private listening session.
We're not here for you, Claw. We just want the Winter Soldier.
And let's go. There he is. That's claw down, and now we just have to go for MODOK, which involves another loading screen. Do I think that this is the last one? No, there's more. No, there's more cutscenes, but no more loading screens until we're done with the claw fight. And then this one always freaks me out because I think that the game is like crashing or something right here because there's no sound. It's sat there spinning on 100%, but any second now we should hear the cadence kick back in. Please. Thank you.
We are approaching the throne room, my friends.
We must find MODOK and recover the stone before he can use it against my people.
We must protect the palace.
The Dormammu would never attack their king. The soul stone has corrupted them.
And let's heavy attack these ones.
It's nice to finally face opponents up to my level.
I hate fighting your own crew, T'Challa, but they gotta be stopped. I'm afraid MODOK has turned even more of your soldiers against us, Your Highness. You've trained your guards a little too well, T'Challa.
And then here's a fun little thing. If you stand your crew on top of this pit, it opens up and you can see their shadow on it before they are teleported away. Get over here, Wolvie. Thank you.
As long as that stone is in MODOK's hands.
Alright, we can zip through all of this.
These corridors connect the royal palace to Wakanda's city of the dead. The necropolis is where Wakanda's former kings rest in eternal glory. Tread carefully, unless you wish to join their ranks. If MODOK is as wise as he believes, he would have retreated to these catacombs.
And right around those guys.
The remains of my ancestors. It is home to Wakanda's greatest treasure, knowledge.
And here is one semi-mandatory combat section that we need to go through. Let's summon in Thanos here, because if you get them far enough ahead, they will auto-target over to where you're at. Come on. Just hit that one more time. Thank you. And then we can ignore the rest of this.
I suspect MODOK will be just beyond this corridor.
And just get into the fight with MODOK.
My tale's just begun.
Your ancestors were ahead of their time, T'Challa. Thank them for me when I send you to meet them.
And then this is an interesting boss fight because it's the only one that has a cutscene right in between the first and second phases. But we can just do this and get right through into the next section.
Souls are meant.
Talk to Thane. Skip through this cutscene. And then we run. And we run far, far away.
If you resist, we will take your lives as well.
Don't listen to him. We still have a chance. His voice, so strange but so familiar.
We can get very far away from the Black Order here. Very far ahead.
There, that chamber. We should be safe inside.
And now we're in Hell, which is my least favorite chapter of the entire game. Oh, yeah. We're doing very well on time, though. We'll just zip through the first section here.
Prevents me from opening a portal. Don't happen to know anyone up in that fancy castle who can help us, do you?
Right around to these grunts.
Others is not one of them. These lost souls have learned to withstand great punishment in their time here. Insurmountable danger lurks around every turn in this realm. Choose your path wisely, my friends. This definitely is the same hell I'm used to. I hope that yours is significantly more pleasant.
Okay. bring these guys over here. And there goes the last of them. So we can now zip right past these guys.
Soldiers on the way. We better get moving.
Better if you choose the path, since I ain't never been one to take the high road.
Follow my lead.
And onto the bridge here, which it loaded in better this time than it did the last time I was playing it.
The stuff of this realm was not meant for mere mortals to withstand.
And the only reason I stopped to grab these four is because they are a mandatory count of this section here. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother with them. Okay, let's get you guys bunched up together, along with the guys that spawn in right after you. And let's zip on up to the gates of Castle Hela.
The gates of Castle Hela have opened themselves to us.
Then into the jaws of the dragon we go.
And there they are. So we can progress through this section, which is easy enough.
I've been on torture planets more welcoming than this place.
And right through here,
I shall prepare my sword.
we have Surtur. Dash into him. Just stagger him out. That's all we need to trigger the second phase of this fight. Because we can't deal any damage to him here. And then it's up to Asgard we go. There goes Surtur. And here we go on to Asgard proper. And there we go.
Eternal? We must journey to the palace at once and show them their folly.
Jump up here.
Too many noble souls are bound for Valhalla this day. We must fight in their honor. We have come to aid you, my brothers. We will remove this scourge from our homeland together.
The realm eternal has been sealed from within. We must retake the gates.
Okay, so here we're going to need to do a two-phase where we draw people into the top and then into the back. The only two that we're missing are back here. And I think there's only one more. There are a few more that come in from the sides there. I think we can now... Yeah, because there's the corridor that takes us back to the left.
Into the line, heroes. This city belongs to Hydra now, and we'll burn it to the ground before we let you have it back.
And into the Asgardian underground.
I used these tunnels to flee the palace and escape my father's wrath.
We will be lucky to escape them with our lives, Odinson.
Got another hit on the scanners. You must be close to something.
The fallen souls of Asgard.
There's one mandatory combat section up here after we talk with Loki.
Hydra has banished Asgard's most valiant warriors to the dungeons. We must release them.
It ain't pretty. Beats the raft any day.
I've not been a very good
Alright, and then let's swap over to Thanos.
Are you kidding? You let Loki out of his cell?
And bring the crew into the center here.
When will these mortals learn?
And there's a conversation we need to have with Loki here, telling him that thank you.
Forge ahead. Asgard's throne awaits.
And there. Now teleportation is back on our side. He doesn't tend to do very well with those ledges.
That shall not be enough to keep us from dethroning
What?
the false king.
Why did you just teleport me all the way back here? If anything, they should have come to me. Alright, don't do that again.
You're not going any further.
Then the time has come to pay our respects to
Come on, guys. And into the throne room with Hela and Red Skull. Red Skull's gonna be pretty easy.
Uphold your end of the bargain, Skull. The Queen of Hell does not tolerate
There he is. He's down.
Lay down your lives for me, mortals. And I promise you an eternity at my side.
In all my years, I have never felt such power. Finally, the key to victory is within my grasp. Such disrespect. Bow to me, dogs.
And
From this throne, I shall rule the
now we need to take on the Destroyer armor. which I'm not keen on, because this fight tends to get a little bit absurd.
The Destroyer was forged by the All-Father himself to serve as Asgard's ultimate weapon.
Everything has a weakness. It is only a matter of finding it.
I have more than one twisted soul at my service.
I didn't know they came in that color.
These crystals may be our only hope to defeat the Destroyer.
Any room for me?
Save some for me,
This
bub.
armor is only as strong as the soul that resides within.
If the skull's inside that armor, we can't afford to lose.
And that was actually a little bit better than I anticipated.
Ask.
And now we are off to nowhere. This is the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. We are nearly there. My recording's still going strong, so we are in the clear there as well. Boss rush time. Alright. Howdy, Cosmo.
Cosmo is having access to doors. Be good boy and clear everything so Cosmo can be open there.
And
We must be exterminating them if we are
there we are, past the Outriders, and now it's into the boss rush. Notice how Cosmo was not there, and now he is again.
Strong energy reading nearby.
You could not defeat us before
All
we possessed
right.
the stones. You stand no chance now. You will delay the inevitable. Your soul is mine for the taking. Letting you live was a grave error on my part.
Alright.
Time for games is
Ebony is at his midway point.
Stone's power to corrupt you.
It's unfortunate that he's at an impair where he's semi-invulnerable to attacks.
I expected far less.
Okay, we want to get him before... I was hoping to get him before he ran into one of those animations.
That's one stone in hand. So, I'm right back to where I started.
Keep your eyes peeled for Thane. The Black Order may be holding him prisoner, or worse.
And here comes the fight with Supergiant.
You truly believe you can win this, don't you? Fools!
Supergiant is already a formidable telepath without the Mind Stone. I'll try to shield us from his mental attacks.
Your minds are my playthings now.
That takes her down to phase 2.
So easy to bend.
Caution. This stone is capable of reprogramming minds, but can also break them to pieces just as easily.
Your every thought betrays you. Lay down your lives in the name of Thanos.
Alright, Supergiant.
Escape the influence of the Mind Stone. You savages know better than to resist me.
She's down.
We can't stop the stone, but we can still stop the...
No way we can stop at only 2 stones. We've got to collect them all.
Hey, you think this gallery has a concession taking a potty break. I can't be the only one who's got to go, right?
And into my least favorite of the bosses, Coal Obsidian. Luckily, we do have our extreme attacks online to help with this.
Hulk didn't get to smash Ugly Giant last time. Hulk won't waste another chance.
But we need to make sure we get him into a second phase before we think about it. Alright, let's not give him time to breathe. Alright, there goes Cole. And here is one of the last loading screens that we have. I think it's a pretty short one. Still doing pretty well over there. I think we switched back over to Nightcrawler.
My protective spell
We
shielded
did
us
not,
from
but that
blast.
was simple
Protected
enough.
Power Stone as well.
Let's come into the Corvus fight here.
I'll twist you to my whims and then rip you to shreds.
He's on his own this time. We need to finish him before his partner has a chance to rescue him again.
There's nowhere left for you to run this time.
The only limit of the reality stone is the imagination of the one who wields himself.
Let's take him out before he has a chance to jump up into the air. That'll be a really big time save if we can take him out before he has a chance to do that on his second phase here.
Reality itself, if that's what it takes to defeat you.
Let's not give him a chance to jump up.
I'll give you one you can't win. My master commands your deaths.
Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Yes! That saves a lot of time on that fight.
Halfway there, team. Just 2 more stones to go.
Because that's like a 20-second animation that you can't get around otherwise. 30 probably even. Alright, Proxima. Come meet your doom.
I showed you mercy once. Never again.
Of course she seems madder than last time. We just sent her husband spiraling off into the abyss.
The death I grant you is welcome compared to what Thanos offers. I'll prove why this stone was destined to be in my
Alright.
Look out. There's no telling where that stone could send you.
This farce has played on It ends now. This is for my beloved Corvus.
Let's take her down.
Tremble in the name of Thanos.
Alright, there's Proxima down. Now it's just on to the main event, which has the ever so slightest of loading screens. Nothing like the big blue screen.
Where did Thanos send us to? It doesn't matter.
Yes. Show me all the power you possess. And
Any room for me?
I shall do the same. Omnipotent power fits me
Okay,
like a glove.
that takes him down a significant amount here.
Factors in when you're deciding who gets to live.
All this power. Where's the responsibility stone when you need it? Look, I appreciate the thought, but you'd be way
Okay.
better off using the Mind Stone
Now
like Stark or
to
Strange,
Thane.
or even Banner.
Here it is, The final rush. Can we do it in 2 minutes? I think we can. I think we've got this.
It's capable of so much more than a lone gauntlet.
There we are. Come on, trigger your cutscene here.
The energies in this place are unlike any I have ever encountered. He's
Come on.
tapped into the well of all creation.
There's nowhere in space safe for you to run.
Come on, kid. Stop using the space though to burn all over the place.
Okay.
And let me get a decent
That gets us to the next phase. Oh, you teleported over there, didn't you? Okay, we're doing good.
Reality is mine to reshape as I please.
Come on, come on, come on.
I never could have imagined such power.
Absolute power such as this contained in the noblest intentions. Trust me.
Okay, one more phase.
And your every move.
We have to fight against the Mind Stone's influence. We can't let Bane into our heads.
Okay, one last phase, 30 seconds.
Even if it must be from the ashes of this one. So this is what it feels like to be omnipotent.
Do you really think you are in control, child? The stones are using you.
Allow me to calm your restless soul.
That's it. That's it. Sub 140. Whew! It's mine. 15 minutes off the time. And the record is mine once again.
You did this to yourself, boy.
There's a couple of optimizations that can be made to that, but not very many. Barring any major or large glitches that I'm not aware of or haven't been discovered yet, this is the end of it. So, this is now, once again, my rightful record. Sorry, but I'm also not sorry, FBI Michael Scarn. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you that were here, I hope you enjoyed. And this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel for official review on Monday. So, thanks again for your support here, and we'll see you next Friday with the next live stream.
We have to do something.
Take care.